So we're here with Daniel Carlisle at the Cliff. Daniel's coming in to look after the development of girls football at Larne Youth. You looking forward to getting started, Daniel?
Can't wait. Yeah, I think it's massive for the club and it's massive for the town to get young girls active in football. I think for Larne to have a strong women's setup to compete with the likes of Carrick and even teams of Belfast, I think it's massive for everyone in the town and the club. For me to come into a club that's starting off from the ground up and building towards getting girls out into that pitch playing for our first team is something I couldn't turn down.
Mm-hmm. Obviously you're not in the job that long, but do you know sort of what your full remit is at the moment?
Yeah, I've been given the saying over from Niall. He's given me all the information I need, and I've met with a few people around the club that have given me more information. I know it's at the minute we're starting, like I say, from scratch almost, that we're starting with a very raw base, but it's good to see that Larne have got such committed coaches behind them at the minute, that we're not coming in looking for a load of coaches as well. We're able to come in and sort of say we've got good coaches, but now let's go forward and get girls in the door and get them active and enjoying football.
Obviously this will be your first season. What are you aiming to try and achieve in the first season in terms of getting different girls teams up and running and things like that?
For the first year, ideally I would like to see under 9s, 11s and 13s teams competing in the likes of the IFA programmes that I've got running, and more than anything I want to see girls out in the pitch smiling and enjoying football and getting good numbers and given a good platform to build on for next year, because I know we want to develop a pathway for the girls that are out in the pitch now for the first team. So I think all we can do now is really start off with the youngest kids, hopefully get under 9s, like I say, 9s, 11s and 13s going, and then build on from next season.
Mm-hmm. And obviously some people might not know you. Do you want to maybe tell the people of Larne what your background is in football?
The people of Larne would know my dad quite well, Mark. He's been obviously up with the first team when Davey was here. But myself, I started off coaching boys football at Antrim Rovers in Antrim. Went over to Liverpool to do my degree in sports coaching, which I thankfully passed after a long haul. But then I got into women's football in Liverpool, coaching with Liverpool Marshall Feds. Mm-hmm. And they're a fantastic club, really well run, and I learned a lot from working with coaches over there who were, one was a doctor of sports coaching, one was a Premier League coach, one was an ex-international at the women's game. So I learned a lot, but it was really going into the deep end, and worked with them for 3 years. I was the assistant manager of the reserves for a season, then development team manager, so pretty ideal for coming in to do this job at Larne, to develop an academy almost.
So obviously you've got into women's football. I suppose maybe some people might not still see sort of what the importance is of women's football, but what would you say to those people? So how would you convince people that women's football has a place?
To try it. That's all you can do, is say the girls of all ages to try it. And it's like you say, it's growing massively in Northern Ireland, but there's still a battle to keep girls interested when it gets to the age of 15, 16, and even to get girls on board at a younger age. And I know around communities around Northern Ireland there's a lot of sports that take precedence over football when it comes to the female participants, but for me, if we can get a lot of girls out in that pitch, show them what fun football is, and that's all it's about when you're a kid, is fun. And if we can get girls smiling, enjoying football, I'll be happy at the end of the day.
And obviously one of the objectives in Larne Football Club's Aspire to Inspire document was to start a senior women's football team, and that has been started well ahead of schedule. Do you think that will make your job a little bit easier between that starting and all the media around it? Miles
easier. I think the fact that the first team's doing so well in their first season is fantastic, and for me, my job is to develop a pathway for them. I think for the likes of the first team players to be able to go down and see the younger players that we're coaching and we're bringing up through the club, and they can look at that and say, do you know what, that's our future. My job is to develop the future of that first team, and their job is to get the results to make our girls at the ages of 9, 11 and 13 to look up and go, I want to be there.
Have you reached the stage where you're starting to recruit players for all the different teams, or is that still to be sorted out and in the pipeline?
That's in the pipeline. At the minute we're trying to get a good coaching foundation ready to go. I'm meeting with all the coaches in the very near future, laying out what I feel is what we need to do at Larne Women's Football Club to promote young female participation in the game. When I've got the coaches on board and I know everyone's schedule, we set the nights, then we'll be pushing forward massively to get young people in. But at the minute, getting girls in is in the pipeline.
Perfect, Daniel. Thanks very much.
No problem at all. Thank you.